me feeling like I'm academics.
Apparently, Elliott Wilson has declared war on Charlamagne the God. Essentially, he called Charlamagne a sucker. And this is what he said here. Check this out.
Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he talking fly.
Like I'm saying, like so.
Here we go.
And I think that's
all I've done is give people great content. I made people buy magazines back in the day. Like
he talking fly.
Like I'm saying, like so. Why do you want me to go away? Like, well, how's that going to help you?
Landscape. People, when boulders moved out the way, other rocks can try to flourish.
I ain't stopping nobody from flourishing. I put a lot of people on.
Not
I
on
help
purpose.
People. I've helped a lot of people. Like check the resume. Like from the Vanessa Sattins to the B-Dots to the Noah Callahan Bevers, like B. Fred, like all these people, Bob Markman. I've helped all these people like throughout my years in the game. So I've contributed. I've helped others. I've elevated up. I do nothing but big up. Like, look at my social media strategy. I big up shit that's dope to the culture. Not shit just.
All the other people now is having problems with Charlamagne.
I don't know about other people. I just think that dude, he can be very funny style in real life. And I just feel like we just never really clicked like that. And also, I just didn't like the last little brilliant idiot shit he did, talking crazy about me being on the list, top 5 and shit. Never explaining why I shouldn't be top 5. And I'm just tired of his shit. And it's old school. It's like at a certain point, you just gotta say, fuck this person. Like, fuck you. Like, I'm born in 1971. Like, it can just be that. We don't have to be cool. We don't gotta pretend. You clearly have an issue with me or you don't like my presence in the game. Like you said, maybe you think I should stand down and be a legend. I'm not here to get this like legendary badge with Big Boy or Angie or Sway. Like I'm here to compete right now in the year of 2024. I know I'm a legend already. Like I still want to compete and create great content. Akademiks gets that. He understands that. I don't agree with everything that he does, but me and him have a good rapport. He gets that the OG out here, he's competing. He's out here in the field competing. He respects it. How can you not respect that? I'm supposed to just be in the corner and be like, tell me about how great I was and what I used to do? I think it's like, fuck that.
I think some of the...
Interesting point.
Now, I don't want to speak for Charlamagne, but some of the concerns people have is when you finished your Drake interview, you said, I'm done, I'm retired.
I didn't say that.
You said that. See, I don't know
you kind of was like, Rap Raid, are we good? Nah.
Who, Mike Kaiser is or, like... With Elliott, I see him on Instagram do this. Like, it's different, but it's the same. It's the same shit. Out, nigga. Like, that's not me. So I don't fit that.
Okay. Like 50
What
yards?
you say fuck me for? Yo, he dissed me 4 times in that shit. On that Brilliant Idiot shit. He dissed me 4 times in that shit. I ripped every single one of them.
Yeah.
He never said why I'm not number 5, why I'm not should be like celebrated, why I'm not. So what am I, number 9, nigga? Like, what would make you comfortable? What would make you comfortable? Clearly my presence doesn't make you comfortable.
Charlamagne was 4.
Yeah.
Kai was 3. Joe 2 and Akademiks 1. Did you like that ranking?
I've never been happy. Never been happy of being number 5.
I'm not mad at that. Yo,
I'm a number 1 nigga. I'm number 1. I'm number 1 in my book. Who's better than me? Like, who's got a greater catalog than me? So I already feel I'm number 1.
Now, let me put a little bit of nuance on it. Number 1, I definitely think Elliott Wilson, he's in, like, I think that Drake shit put a battery in his back to say, yo, bro, I don't want to be just the guy who y'all are going to just, his jersey's in the rafters. He wants to be the guy who's relevant in every era. And he wants to take his journalism, his media personality space and try to affect this era. Completely get it. I think what Charlamagne was kind of also getting at is like, and y'all could judge it either way. I don't think, like, Charlamagne talked about that list, but every time I've ever talked to Charlamagne personally, and y'all could have whatever opinion about what I'm about to say, because y'all might be like, nah, he's only saying that because he's not number 1 or whatever. And by the way, me and Charlamagne had this conversation last year, right? When Joe was number 1. Charlamagne, like, he feels that list is great for validation for the newer media personality who haven't had some of the stuff that used to exist. Right, Sway earned so many accolades to be Sway. So he's like, this list, like, I don't think Charlamagne gives a fuck that he's 4, or I think that. You know what I mean? I think that maybe he does. I think he looks at himself like almost in that legend category, right? Just like how I think he's looking at Elliott like, yo, Elliott, you shouldn't be wilding to be high on the list. That list supposed to be for like niggas who's getting to that point of trying to be a legend, right? Now, maybe that's my interpretation of how he looks at it, and maybe he doesn't look at it like that at all. But that's how I get what Elliott's saying, and I get what Charlamagne's saying.
But I didn't like being whatever they gave me last year, number 8, right? So I got motivated to
shoot up the rank.
Yeah, it's like Elliott. Here's the thing: Elliott doesn't say how he feels about shit. Okay, cool. I get it because I'm political, whatever. But okay, let me create a platform where I do that. Like the bigger picture, I got this debate show I'm creating with
DJ Head. That's great.
Jeremy Hecht. So even that, and I hate that. Let's get back to that. Don't make me forget that point.
No, we don't. I'm gonna remember.
So now I have a platform and even social media where I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Mm-hmm. And then they say, "Oh, Elliott's messy." Nigga, the world's messy, nigga. Like, the truth is the truth. Like, how am I messy? I'm telling you the real. Nobody else gonna tell you the real. I'm gonna tell you the real. Elliott's messy in the know. It says the show works because Elliott's messy and in the know. My guy Jeremy, the white boy, he's naive. He's just like a sponge, soaking up game, smart. And Head is the authoritative contrarian. He's just like, fuck that, it's not this. West Coast, West Coast, West Coast. Yeah. But I also didn't like that too. Like, that same thing that Charlamagne did on that thing was he's bigging up DJ Head, which he should. DJ Head, as an argument, he should have been on that list in a certain sense because of the impact he had
with the Drake and
Kendrick beef. You're talking about Drake Kendrick beef as the metric. I agree with Charlamagne that DJ Head should be recognized. Mm-hmm. But don't be bigging up DJ Head and then dissing me when you know I created a show with him, when you bigged up that show before. It's like when people try to say shit about bigging up B-Dot against me, it's like, don't do the divide and conquer shit. I hate that shit. That's some sucker shit.
Well,
I do divide and conquer shit. You don't big up B-Dot to put me down. Don't big up DJ Head to put me...
Now, Charlamagne gonna big up DJ Head because Charlamagne is building a company. Anybody who signed with Charlamagne, like, Charlamagne's gonna give you a little bit more of a head nod. And by the way, that's another thing that when Elliott was saying whatever about Charlamagne, no matter if you don't agree with him, this is why Charlamagne is a legend in that, right? Because you do care what he says, right? You do care. Like, Elliott's an OG too, but when it comes to this media personality space, bruh, like, if Charlamagne say you're whack, or if Charlamagne say you don't belong, you feel away. You get what I'm saying? Which kind of validates his kind of, almost OG role as well. Anyway, apparently Charlamagne dropped the Brilliant Idiots, and he came back at Elliott Wilson, and this is what he said. I didn't even hear it yet, but Elliott posted on his page.
Great content on the way. Hashtag 2024. Why is it on the way?
Why isn't it now?
Yeah, tell me what you've done over the past year that warrants you be number 5. Wallow and Gilly, constantly putting out fantastic content. Yeah. Interviewing all of the young artists. All of the young artists, like I said last week, want to go to Wallow and Gilly. Wallow and Gilly be giving them that OG game. Nori with Drink Champs, constantly giving you great hip-hop content. Vlad TV, constantly giving you great hip-hop content. I don't think that you should be over any of those guys. Number 5, I don't think you should be over Gabe P. Like I said on the podcast last week, Gabe P is somebody who comes out with a show,
I ain't gonna lie, I think that's on the radar. Killing, bro. I'm telling you, like, shit, somebody put me onto a new artist yesterday, and, like, one of the main things they were saying, more than showing me the Spotify, they're like, yo, gotta go check out their On the Radar freestyle. Go check out the On the Radar freestyle. The On the Radar freestyle is hotter than the songs I heard on Spotify. So, yeah, that's a huge platform, by the way.
On the Radar, that is a rap show. It's literally about the best. The people go up there and freestyle.
So let me just
that is rap.
As an outsider to this, can you be awarded a rap or hip hop media award if you don't have a platform?
That's the other thing. You don't even have a consistent platform, my
brother.
But
does he have a platform? I don't know.
He does, but he don't use it.
Rap Radar was, I thought it was really good.
When the last time you seen a Rap Radar interview?
I remember the interview with, was it Jay-Z where it was,
that was 9 years. I don't even, that was a long
So they
time
stopped
ago.
Doing Rap Radar?
I haven't seen one in a long time. Great brand. I know that they wanted, when they they didn't lose their last deal. I think the company that they was with.
Shut down.
Shut down.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to come to Black Effect.
Oh no.
We didn't want it.
Oh, so that's why he's.
I don't know if that's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? But
or it's more insult to injury when you weren't interested.
Nah, Charlamagne
and
don't fuck with
you
this thing
also
at all.
said he doesn't deserve a spot.
Listen, man.
Yeah.
Well,
They haven't, for what it's worth, they haven't, according to Apple, it hasn't released an episode since December 14th, 2023.
Okay, so let me.
And that might have been me. I might have been the last episode.
No, it was Gucci Man, but I think it was, intervals shut down towards the beginning of this year.
So let me just understand this. Is your argument, in order to get to be a figure in hip hop media, you need a platform to disseminate your media?
I think so. I mean, everybody else up there has one. Like anybody you look at in that top 25 list, if you look at
Akademiks has multiple.
Akademiks has multiple platforms.
Yeah. You have.
I actually disagree with that. Like, this wasn't a platform list, because if it's a platform list, with all due respect to half of that list, it's criminal that Say Cheese not on the list. Then. If we're talking about platforms, then also if we're talking about platforms, you can't have Adam at 22. He has to be higher. I'm sorry. If we're talking about platforms. So I thought that list was about me being a media personality. Now, does the platform that you're being a media personality on matters? Yes, because it's like being a star player on an NBA team. Like, yo, if you could be John Morant, but if your team went 0-82, being a really nice player on a team that is completely trash don't matter. So it kind of like, I look at it like an MVP type of thing, right? Anyway, it's interesting with Elliott. I think what Elliott kind of did a lot more. I always looked at Elliott as he did great interviews, right? I love his interviews. I never knew Elliott for opinions, me personally. So, and by the way, this might be also showing a little bit of my age in terms of I never really read his columns that he used to write back when it was magazines. So I don't know if they were like mad opinionated. I don't know, right? I've kind of looked at him more like a polished journalist who is going to, put both sides out there, have that journalistic integrity. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think media just got into the place where niggas want to hear people's opinions. They want to hear people like them having conversation that they have in a barbershop or have with friends. Like some of the journalists shit has kind of gone to the wayside. I still think there's a place for it. But I think if I was like a journalist these days, I would make my qualms by doing deep dive investigative journalism and bring shit to the forefront that nobody has. Like, honestly, I think the journalists of today aren't writers necessarily. No disrespect to writers. They're people they're people like Traplo Ross. Like, Traplo Ross is going to go and take 2 months. Or even like What's the Dirt? Like, he's going to, from a musical perspective, he's going to, like, that's what I don't like about current rap media. And this is not at Elliott, right? This current rap media, ever since it turned into, and shit, maybe I'm one of the people who help, like change the landscape of it. Ever since rap media turned into, it's about Instagram pages and like streams and whatever and radio shows. People who write articles, and I'm not dissing no particular writer, but if they write article on Hip Hop DX, Hot New Hip Hop, if they write articles on XXL, for the most part, they're copying and pasting. They're not really being journalists, and I get it. It's probably not a great paying job. No disrespect still. I'm not trying to disrespect. But you're not going the extra mile. If half of your article is a bunch of Instagram posts and YouTube links, like, nobody's going to care about what you think. I'm not saying y'all got to be writing op-eds, but y'all don't bring nothing to the conversation, and y'all don't bring anything that's substantive that people didn't already get from a Instagram page or Twitter feed. So I look at the new journalists like Traplo Ross, right? Like, that motherfucker is he's going to go dig some shit up. Like, if we're talking about music journalists, you can't tell me What's the Dirt's not a journalist, because all the music journalists didn't figure out 1/1,000,000th of the connections he made in the biggest, most important rap battle of our time. That's what I'm saying. These days, media's just changed. So I think, and again, I might be wrong on my assessment of Elliott, because I think Elliott these days he's came over from the older school journalist lane to now being what I like to call a talking head. I'm a talking head. Joe's a talking head. Charlamagne is a talking head. What does that mean? When you go to these people, you go to me, you know I'm probably gonna disseminate the info, right? Usually in a fair manner, right? I give you the details, but I'm gonna give you my opinion, or it's gonna be colored in my opinion, or my humor. It's very colorized, right? It's like what they do with color commentary on TNT when it's like NBA games. That's what Charlamagne does. Yeah, he might tell you about what happened about the presidential shooting, but he got all type of colorful shit to make it entertaining. That's why you watch. Same with Joe Budden. He got a bunch of insight he's gonna bring in, past experience, got jokes. That's like all those things. That's what kind of people are tuning into these days, rather than like kind of just read or hear like some. And again, another thing that, and this is the last thing I'm gonna add before I just let them battle it out. I believe that in 2024, because there's so much platforms, there isn't one de facto interview platform anymore. And if there was one, it's not in hip hop, it's Shannon Sharpe, right? But and I've talked to an artist about this. I don't want to kind of name drop them. Huge artists, but they're like, hey, this time I'm dropping an album, I'm gonna go with this. Oh, I'm gonna go with this. Like they pick and choose what. So again, the times has changed. Where I think Elliott also comes from the school of, all right, well, him, Angie, Sway, they're gonna get the big interviews. They're gonna get the looks with the artist. Nah, Ice Spice, honestly, truth be told. And by the way, Ice Spice, she had promised me an interview. Like, she probably shouldn't want to do an interview with me. You know how Act gonna get during an interview, my nigga. He gonna ask you about all the shit you don't want to answer. He's gonna press you about the Nicki shit with the Texas. He's gonna press you about Lotto. He's gonna ask all these things that you're probably not trained or equipped well enough to answer, and you know it's gonna be spicy. You probably don't want a spicy interview. You go to Kai, do a little dance, like, do push-ups and like have a fun time with Kai, who's pretty much, I think Kai is amazing. He's doing improv with these artists. He's extracting the personalities out of certain people who don't have personalities. I don't think Ice Spice had that much personality. Anyway, that's where shit is at now. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when you look at Elliott is he's in the lane of now being a talking head, and I don't know if he was always a talking head, right? Because I never, even when I watched all his Crown interviews, I've watched his interviews with Jay-Z, I didn't really say, like, I knew he was going to ask the right questions. I never went for his opinions, right? Like, I think that change also happened with Vlad a bit, right? I think Vlad went from the guy just asking the questions to Vlad now pretty much gives his opinion heavily in every interview. But it's a little bit different for Vlad because he's doing it primarily on his platform. And even though the style has changed, right? Like, Vlad talks a lot more. Sometimes he's on camera with niggas. But it's still Vlad is Vlad TV. So it's like, don't come to Vlad TV if you're now mad that Vlad is giving his opinion on Vlad TV, right? So it is what it is. Elliott, I'm watching him kind of like traverse this like this wave, and he definitely wants to compete. I want to see him outside of the issues with Drake and how those opinions, and I think I've seen him tweet it. I've seen him tweet him. Like, he'll be like, oh, I don't like this song, or this shit is whack, or blah, blah, blah. I've seen him give the opinions. But again, I think that's more of kind of like what a lot of people are either expecting. And I think he's starting to do it. So we'll see. I probably said a whole bunch. I hope that wasn't all word salad. Hopefully there was some meaningful shit in there. But anyway, let me finish listening to what Charlamagne was saying.
And let's talk about that, right? People can say whatever they want about Act, and I give him his props again. He consistently works.
He's involved. He's involved.
Act might be on stream right now.
He's involved.
Act might be on his 9th hour.
How Charlamagne know that?
He's like intimate.
Yeah, we gotta do 7 hours today because we didn't do yesterday. We gotta do 7 hours today.
Right now,
Yeah, I'm just a different type of motherfucker who kind of grew up on, like, I would want to do a 24-hour news network, and I wish I could just operate 24 hours talking about everything, right? And stream is like an interesting thing. It's a skill actually I've kind of honed because to entertain for 7 hours and keep people is so hard. To last 7 hours, pause, is also hard. But you also don't want to have like a stream where people are like, all right, this is the boring part, I'll be out of here. So, you know what I mean? And that's another thing I give credit to, like, people like Kai. When I see that motherfucker stream for like 4 or 5 days, even though I know he's just not talking about hip hop, he's doing a lot of things. You gotta build up that muscle to last. Pause.
we might, whatever time we're taping this, he might be on his 9th hour of a stream, and this might just be his first time jumping on today.
And he's intimately involved in most of the beefs that are happening. He's like releasing music.
Come on, bro. Daily he's on the screen.
Incredible.
He's got the on the record podcast. Same thing with Joe.
People don't realize
Joe's
it, like,
putting out 2 podcasts a week.
It's a
Nori's putting out a podcast a week.
Yeah.
Gillian Wallow putting out not just the podcast, they got the Gillian Wallow adventures they're always putting out. Vlad is always putting out content.
Gillian Wallow killed it. Also,
Trap Lord Ross got documentaries. There's so many people you can put on this list, even though I feel like
Was Trap Lord Ross not on the list? Was Trap Lord Complex? Was Trap Lord Ross had to be on the list? Trap Lord Ross wasn't on the list? Oh, yes, he was. Okay, I was about to say. Yeah, Trap Lord Ross is our modern day journalist, brother. I'm sorry to tell y'all. He got the shit right. And I know he got a little flack for like certain like crime documentaries, but this is why, like, I think What's the Dirt is that's what he is too, right? I think both of them, right? I think What's the Dirt is more of a music based type of thing, right? Breaking down things that come from the music. He's breaking things that come from the culture. I can't wait to watch Trap Lord Ross's documentary on maybe some of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes with the Drake and Kendrick things that maybe we missed, or maybe we'll find out later. And he's gonna kind of crystallize his era with like a dope ass documentary type thing. I've always said his shit could go on Hulu. I kid you not.
Icons like the Big Boys and the Angies and the Sways shouldn't be on there just because they're iconic and they should be doing something else. Even they got daily platforms. Like, we should have another list for them that puts them in their proper perspective of the Mount Rushmores, because it just feels strange to me. It's like right now, if you said who the top 10 players in the league, and let's just say Bron is at 7.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You'd be like, that don't look right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we're talking about right now, that don't look right.
Yeah. Like, to me, I'm like, if we were doing the top 5 media personalities in basketball, I don't know if we'd put someone on that list that didn't have a platform to disseminate their media.
It's really that simple. The fact that
I don't think that's an unreasonable take, but then would your argument be that he shouldn't be on the list at all? Now, I'm trying to think of this from both angles.
I would.
Are there, you know how like there's some people that like Twitter is their platform?
I could put him at 25.
Okay.
Because Twitter trolling should not be enough. And by the way, me and Elliott had this conversation last year, because one thing that people forget, he went on DJ Akademiks podcast last year, because once again, he don't have his own platform that he can utilize.
Right.
So he went on DJ Akademiks platform. Play what he said on Akademiks platform last year, Taylor. This was last August.
This
is last August.
Yo, if Charlamagne got prepared clips on your ass, it's over. It's over. He'll fuck with that nigga at all.
What up, Chick Smooth? I'm getting this from Chick Smooth YouTube.
By the way, also, here's the thing, too. And I don't know why this conversation also I like these conversations, because I feel like I'm the only one who used to have them. Anyway, well, Joe used to have them, too. I do want to be very clear. Charlamagne's a Mount Rushmore media personality. We're talking about, and when I think about media personality, we're talking about people who hold their own on this microphone. with their opinions. People who are usually, and most of it is talk. Like him, Sway. Sometimes when I say Star, like Star is one of the most talented who's ever been a broadcaster. But if we're just talking greatest, I'm also looking at career. Elliott is one of the most legendary, I believe, journalists. And that's not a slight that he's not on. Like, a media personality, I don't care too much if you're a journalist or not. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're speaking on current events, and I get that might make you a journalist, but like you might just be a nigga just talking shit. You might just be like a guy who is just using humor to mix with your dissemination of hip hop content. You're not a journalist. I think Elliott Wilson is probably a Mount Rushmore guy of journalists, hip hop journalists, right? Like there's a few other journalists that come to my mind too, but that's where I think he's at, right? I wonder if that makes sense. I think it does.
You know Che gonna have everything up there. Whatever you say, Che's gonna be on YouTube with it, man.
Charlamagne is remaining loyal to his network, the Black Effect Network. So if you're not with them, you're against them at this point. After DJ Akademiks called out Charlamagne for pretty much doing an interview with Loon, after he's been asking him for an interview for the last 2 years, looks like someone else has beef with Charlamagne for not doing an interview with him. That would be Elliott Wilson. Yes, the same Elliott Wilson that got mad and sensitive that Drake did not do an interview with his platform, but went and did an interview with somebody else that's not in the culture. Elliott Wilson was on DJ Akademiks' podcast Off the Records. Make sure you guys go check it out on Spotify, where he made it clear that he's not rocking with Charlamagne right now. And not only that, but apparently they were never cool. Here's what Elliott Wilson said.
I'm not feeling Charlamagne right now, though, too.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like how you move sometimes, honestly.
Wait, like personally, or? I thought you guys were cool.
No, we're cool. We're cool.
Wait, no, hold on. Now, let me get it. I mean, listen. I wasn't feeling.
I think that he does. I don't think some type of OG moves he doesn't do right to me. I feel like he's really much about his people's, his network, and how he's moving now. And I think there's a change. You sparked that.
I don't knock that, and I kind of understand it now. It's like, yo, if I have this power and clout of being Charlamagne, yeah, I'm gonna try to give it to the people who are kind of incentivized with me. Now, granted, I do think that you have to. You can't be too biased with it, right? Because you can't just only try to empower you should try to empower the people that you're in business with, but then you can't lie to people and be like, yo, they're the hottest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wait, nobody watches this guy. Like, we don't care if he's in business with you or not. This guy's nobody, right?
And said that, and I think that that's true.
No, of course, I think I think that's always been true with Charlamagne. I feel like
but he's got more empowered, and the lines have kind of been drawn more about who is on his side and who's not.
Yeah, if you're not Black Effect, like you're like out the bus.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but what's in his relationship?
Can you pause for a second?
I mean, it's all
Pardon me for promoting my company.
No. This is an actually interesting thing.
Talk to me.
Because I know where that energy comes from.
Talk to me.
They see you promoting certain people, doing certain pods that are part of your network. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming, again, I'm not exactly sure how they
got great content on the way. Hashtag 2024. Why is
okay. Oh, my bad. I just seen some. All right, cool. All right. Holy. Yeah. It feels like it's getting a little personal here with Elliott and Charlamagne. And yeah, I'll see how this kind of plays out. He did post something else that I posted before. Wow, he posts a lot. Is this Ice Spice? Oh, shit. Yeah, she did a magazine spread. I think it was Rolling Stone. So he posted this. This was the clip of him interviewing Trippie Redd at Rolling Loud. And I captioned it by saying, Trippie Redd speaks on the term selling your soul backstage with Elliott Wilson at Rolling Loud. And Drake Drake says, LOL. LOL, man, shit's on not coming on his platform for a second time. And now Elliott is 10 toes doing Yes Jules run-up interviews at Rolling Loud. Just admit the youth took over, big dog. Yeah, and I think Drake kicked all this shit off. And by the way, he said, gotta admit, Akademiks' theory is correct. This still pisses me off. I've never been on Demon Time. I've been on Demon Time ever since. I'm the GOAT, and I'm going to continue proving it. Blame Aubrey. It's our anniversary. Interesting. Well, this isn't adapt or die type of space when it comes to media, right? It's like artists these days don't want to go sit with the nigga who gonna ask him every question. They also don't want to sit with Charlamagne at times when they think he about to be funny. They don't want to sit with me when they think that I'm about to go say some shit that they don't want to hear, right? So the artists are picking who they want to go to, and you just got to kind of adapt. And shit, I guess Elliott's trying to adapt. I'm just sitting back and watching their back and forth, honestly. It's finally a personality beef I'm not in. Perfect. I'm messy enough, definitely, to keep watching what happens. But I'm kind of very neutral. But I will say, Elliott, GOAT journalist. Charlamagne, GOAT media personality. Alrighty then. All right.